Something wild happened in Gaza this week. 7 aid workers from the World Central Kitchen were killed by what looks like an accidental Israeli airstrike. Of course, the world immediately rushed to condemn Israel without any facts of the matter, calling for accountability like never before. Meanwhile, terror attacks continue to happen in Israel almost on a regular basis, and the world, for the most part, is remaining silent. We're talking about all of this along with some good news at the end of the show, so stay tuned. I'm Justin, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Great to be back with you guys again today. We're still on the road here in Missouri doing shows as often as we can. We apologize that they're not more often. Josiah just got married, as some of you guys probably saw, so he's on a break, and Joshua's flying back over to Israel, so our schedule's kind of crazy right now. Guys, first off, make sure to subscribe wherever you're watching, whether it's here on YouTube, Rumble, podcast platform, wherever it is. Subscribe, give us a follow. Also like this video, hit the notification bell so you never miss any of the content of the Israel Guys that we're putting out as often as we can. Also go check out our social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We would very much appreciate it if you would give us a follow there. Guys, do not forget about the Israel Summit, our Israel Guys Conference, which is coming up very soon, May 20th through the 22nd. It's at the Sonesta Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be an amazing conference, 3-day conference. We have an amazing lineup of speakers, Israeli musicians. We have a full-on concert. We're going to be showing movies, different videos, amazing lineup of speakers. It's going to be a great conference. We would very much appreciate it if you would consider making the effort to come from wherever you are to stand in support of Israel's heartland. It's time for all of us as Christians to stand together with one voice, to unite, to say that the whole land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people. Guys, you can go to theisraelguys.com/summit or just click the link in the description below to sign up for the Israel Summit. Unfortunately, there was yet again another terrorist attack. Thankfully, no one was killed. There was a ramming attack on Tuesday night at the Kochav Yair Junction, which is in central Israel. A 26-year-old Arab Israeli from the town of Tira rammed the checkpoint, injuring 4 Israeli police officers. One was seriously hurt, another was moderately wounded, and the other 2 sustained light wounds. After ramming the checkpoint, the terrorist drove to the Eliyahu crossing, the crossing that goes into Judea and Samaria, and he tried to stab security guards there. Thankfully, the security guards were paying attention. They were on their toes. They were able to shoot and quickly neutralize the terrorist. Continue to pray for the full recovery of the victims who were injured in this terror attack, and that there will be no more terrorist attacks in Israel. So you may have seen it on the mainstream media. There have been a lot of headlines about this recently, but the international community, I feel like it's not just the mainstream media. It's also the international community, world leaders, social media. They've been blasting Israel over this Israeli airstrike that killed 7 aid workers in Gaza. These 7 aid workers were from the organization World Central Kitchen. So what actually happened? We're going to get into the details here. We don't know the full story yet. The IDF, they're doing full investigations right now. They're saying everything they know. However, we don't know all the details yet, although the rest of the world seems to pretend like they know all the details and they can condemn Israel because they know everything, even though hardly anything is out about this incident yet. Here's a statement put out by the IDF Chief of Staff, Herzi Halevi. He's explaining what happened and also apologizing to the World Central Kitchen. Check out this video here.
Last night, 7 employees of the World Central Kitchen were killed. WCK is an organization whose people work across the globe, including in Israel, to do good in difficult conditions. The IDF works together closely with the World Central Kitchen and greatly appreciates the important work that they do. the IDF completed a preliminary debrief. I want to be very clear. The strike was not carried out with the intention of harming WCK aid workers. It was a mistake that followed a misidentification at night during a war in a very complex conditions. It shouldn't have happened. The initial findings were just presented to me here in the Southern Command. I also visited the new Humanitarian Command Center that we established today to improve the way we coordinate aid distribution in Gaza. We will continue taking immediate actions to ensure that more is done to protect humanitarian aid workers. This incident was a grave mistake. Israel is at a war with Hamas, not with the people of Gaza. We are sorry for the unintentional harm to the members of WCK. We share in the grief of their families as well as the entire World Central Kitchen organization from the bottom of our hearts. An independent body will investigate the incident thoroughly. We will complete it in the next coming days. We will learn from the conclusions and implement them immediately. We will share in full transparency the findings of the investigation with the World Central Kitchen and other international relevant organizations. We see great importance in the continued delivery of humanitarian aid, and we will keep working to facilitate this vital effort.
So basically, it looks like what happened is there were 7 aid workers. They went and dropped off supplies. They were on their way back, and they were hit by an accidental Israeli airstrike that most likely we will learn the details of soon because as I said before, the IDF is doing a full investigation into this incident. Armed men were seen around the convoy earlier, but apparently no strike was authorized. The IDF is investigating why and who gave the order to strike this convoy. Don't get me wrong, guys, this is tragic. 7 people were killed. This is tragic. However, this is a war zone. Aid workers going into Gaza, they know the risks that they're taking. They know that this is a full-out war zone. This is no child's play. This is a war zone, and that it is very dangerous to go into there. They know the risks that they are taking. What doesn't make sense to me, yes, this is tragic, but what does not make sense to me is that there can be several terror attacks committed by Palestinian Arabs or Israeli Arabs, like in the case I just talked about, on innocent Jews simply for the fact that they are Jews living in their own homeland, and the world could care less. They will say nothing. Maybe the Biden administration will say something small like, you know, we're mourning with the families. For the most part, the world media will say nothing. However, when 7 aid workers are accidentally killed in an all-out war zone in Gaza, the media absolutely goes berserk and blows up. CNN had a heyday. They wrote several articles about this strike, of course, not mentioning the fact that it was a complete accident by the IDF. Al Jazeera, of course, wrote many articles. All of the major news networks, in fact. Just search it in Google. This is what I did earlier. Just search 7 aid workers killed in Gaza, and you will see countless articles by all of the mainstream media, the major news networks. You will see countless articles about this attack. So it was 7 workers killed, 3 British, 1 Australian, 1 Polish guy, 1 American Canadian, and 1 Gazan. And most of these countries are now slamming Israel, the countries where these people came from. Poland is demanding financial compensation from Israel for the death of its citizen, which is ridiculous because they should know they're going into a dangerous war zone. They should know the risks that they are taking. Canada's Foreign Minister Melanie Joly called for a full investigation into the incident, which, as I said before, Israel is doing. British Foreign Minister David Cameron said he told Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz that the deaths are, quote, completely unacceptable, adding that, quote, Israel must urgently explain how this happened and make major changes to ensure safety of aid workers on the ground. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak spoke with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Tuesday, saying he is, quote, appalled by the killings and demanding a, quote, thorough and transparent independent investigation. As I said before, Israel is doing a full-out investigation. Guys, we're going to get into the Biden administration's reaction to this airstrike. Surprise, surprise, it's not good. But first, let me tell you about one of the best ways to support Israel right now. Our friends at Blessed by Israel ship the beautiful products of small businesses and families from Israel's heartland to people all around the world. You can buy the wonderful tastes, smells, and goodness of the Promised Land, and Blessed by Israel ships them straight to your doorstep. Check out the amazing extra virgin olive oil, savory spices, cosmetics, hand cream, soaps, lotions, chocolate, coffee, and much more. The best part about this is that at the same time as you're enjoying the goodness of the Promised Land, you are blessing the faithful pioneers who are restoring and rebuilding Judea and Samaria. That's right, your purchases are an effective way to contribute to the strengthening of Israel. So head over to blessedbyisrael.com, that's blessed, B-U-Y, Israel.com, to buy the wonderful products of Israel's heartland and support the pioneers of Judea and Samaria at the same time. Again, that is blessed, B-U-Y, Israel.com. The link is in the description below. So, surprise, surprise, the Biden administration is once again blasting Israel like all of the other countries. John Kirby, the White House National Security Communications Advisor, long name there, he told reporters on Tuesday that the Biden administration is, quote, outraged over the incident. Why am I not seeing any outrage? Why am I not seeing the same outrage over terror attacks that are happening in Israel almost on a regular basis? John Kirby said, quote, we were outraged to learn of an IDF strike that killed a number of civilian humanitarian workers yesterday from the World Central Kitchen, which has been relentless in working to get food to those who are hungry in Gaza and, quite frankly, around the world. We send our deepest condolences to their families and loved ones. He said that Israel had completed a preliminary investigation into the airstrike and that Washington expects that a full investigation is likely to be completed within a matter of days. He said, quote, our expectation is, and we've made this clear to them, that they'll come clean about what they've learned. They'll be fully transparent, and if people need to be held accountable, that they'll be held accountable. I'm sure that Israel is absolutely doing that. They will be completely transparent, and they will hold their military accountable. If someone is to blame in this, if someone called an airstrike where they shouldn't, Israel will hold them very, very accountable. Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary, said at the same press briefing, she said that U.S. President Joe Biden called Jose Andres, founder of World Central Kitchen, to say that he is heartbroken by the news. Biden told Andres that he would, quote, make clear to Israel that humanitarian aid workers must be protected. Joe Biden also stated on Tuesday night that the deaths of the aid workers, including an American-Canadian, as I mentioned before, are, quote, not a standalone incident. This conflict has been one of the worst in recent memory in terms of how many aid workers have been killed. This is a major reason why distributing humanitarian aid in Gaza has been so difficult. Because Israel has not done enough to protect aid workers trying to deliver desperately needed help to civilians. Who are you to say that Israel is not doing enough to protect aid workers? Come on, seriously. He went on to say, quote, incidents like yesterday's simply should not happen. Israel has also not done enough to protect civilians. The United States has repeatedly urged Israel to deconflict their military operations against Hamas with humanitarian operations in order to avoid civilian casualties. He added that he will, quote, continue to press Israel to do more to facilitate humanitarian aid in Gaza. We are pushing hard for an immediate ceasefire as part of a hostage deal, Biden said. I have a team in Cairo working on this right now. Come on, seriously, you have no right to be telling Israel you need to be doing more to protect civilians when Israel has one of the best casualty rates in the world of civilians to terrorists killed. Israel is doing the world a favor right now. They're going in and eradicating this evil terrorist group from the face of the earth. And how is the world turning them? How are they being grateful? Are they responding to this being, thank you for taking out this terror group? No, they're just blasting Israel for one small mistake that they made when they don't even know the details. Israel is still doing an investigation into this incident. They don't even know all of the details of what happened, yet the world has chosen just to blast Israel. World Central Kitchen announced that they would be suspending their aid operations in Gaza following this incident. We'll see if that's temporary or permanent. I like to end the show on good news. So here you go. This is the good news for the day. The Israeli Knesset voted on Monday night 71-10 to shut down the Israel Bureau of Qatar-sponsored terror-loving Al Jazeera. Yes. Clapping here, please. According to JNS, quote, earlier on Monday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu directed coalition members to vote in favor. According to a statement by the premier's ruling Likud party, he asked coalition chairman, Knesset member Ophir Katz to, quote, make sure that the law to close Al Jazeera in Israel is approved this evening in the Knesset. The statement continued, quote, after the approval of the law, Prime Minister Netanyahu will immediately act to close Al Jazeera in accordance with the procedure established by the law. Israeli Communications Minister Shlomo Karhi said, quote, there will be no freedom of speech for Hamas mouthpieces in Israel. Al Jazeera will be closed in the coming days. Yes, he's 100% right. There's free speech. There's free speech in Israel. There's free speech here in America. Yet, there is a line that free speech crosses. And if you are supporting violence, if you are promoting terrorism, if you are promoting violence, then that crosses the line of free speech. So this is good news that the Israel Bureau of Al Jazeera is being closed down. Honestly, though, I think it's about time for the whole news network of Al Jazeera to be shut down. Guys, continue to pray for Israel as terror attacks happen more on a regular basis. Continue to pray for them that they'll have the strength to do what they need to do to take out Hamas, and that they will not listen to the world who is trying to pressure them into a ceasefire. Guys, make sure and check out Blessed by Israel to purchase products directly from Israel's heartland while supporting the pioneers of Judea and Samaria. You can go to BUYIsrael.com or click the link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe. Get that conversation going down below. Let us know in the comments what you think about this whole topic. And as always, tune out the fake news and tune into what is actually happening in the land of Israel. We'll be back every day, Monday through Friday, with your direct connection to the land and people of Israel.